Today on Media Alert Sandwich, we talk about
a lot of 50-cent words.
Not so 50-cent words.
And professionalism, like Pod Bros.
Pod Bros. Welcome to Media Alert Sandwich. With me is William from
AllAboutWilliam.com.
Mark Monster from
CrazyMark.com.
With us again is Donnie from
Whatever talk. Period.
and whatever fine podcast you're currently working on.
Yes. It's many spinoffs of Whatever talk.
I'm Scotty Miley, better known as Toaden from Toaden.com, YouTube.com/ToadenK, and we're Media Alert Sandwich. Well, with Donnie from Whatever Talk for this great episode. I just want to tell people, if you enjoy listening to us, please subscribe, follow, comment. It really helps us. If you're on YouTube, hit that bell after you subscribe. That way you know when we have a new video coming out. We always appreciate that. Today, we are talking about language, being taken seriously with your language. We consider ourselves a family-friendly podcast. Donnie, although I really do enjoy your podcast, and, you guys talk, for the most part, professionally about non-professional topics, except for the rapping, the when you do the lyrics. I do consider that a professional piece. You guys are not so much family friendly.
No, we're if you gotta be, I don't want to be censored. So if you have to be censored, then it's going to be family friendly, and I don't want to be censored. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say what you are afraid to say to your kids.
Right on.
Your show is a show. If you have kids in the room, they have to put headphones on, or they should.
Well, okay, let me just set it straight. I guess you could say the show is, I don't know what the N17, what is it?
NC-17.
NC, what's the NC stand for?
No child under 17.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I believe.
Yes.
I guess you could say that can be used majority for our episodes.
And that is a death rating, because they will not put those in theaters because they assume NC-17 is highly sexual content, even though that's not what it's meant for.
Well, uptight America.
See, with R, if you have a parent or guardian, you can usually go in to see it. But NC-17, you're not allowed to let kids in at all.
Okay, well, going a little off subject here, but have you seen the PG-13 movies lately? They are borderline rated R now.
Have you seen the G and PG movies of the 60s and 70s?
Oh, yes.
Before PG-13 was a rating, though. But
yeah, but I guess you could say ours is mature. Just put it like that. I like to say it's mature. I don't want to say...
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's not child or family friendly. I just say it's mature.
Yeah, I think the whole rating system is totally mucked.
Yeah.
It's been dragged through the mud. It's changed so much. They need to change it up. They need to make it, they need to figure out something better.
And somewhere in Europe, they're laughing at our First Amendment. You can think of the films that show over there.
I don't know if it really violates your
ratings?
I don't think it violates the First Amendment. I think in your attitude, you kind of have to be conscious depending on who you're talking to. When I'm on the podcast, I don't cuss because I don't want people to have to put on headphones when their kids are around. And I want to be
not offend anyone.
A professional podcast that talks enough about professional topics such as video and podcasting and networking, where people can play us in their office while they're working.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the ghost of Tipper Gore. All of a sudden, everyone grows silent.
Because we're trying to figure out what that meant.
The ghost Tipper Gore was in the forefront of, taking language and taking away all this profanity and instilling the ratings, NC-17.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, history lesson.
Now I know what you're talking
You want
about.
to know where the monster came from that took the First Amendment and brought censorship to new heights? That was Tipper Gore.
Yeah, she introduced the stickers on the CDs.
More than that.
Yeah,
she also killed metal. Oh.
Attempted to. Dee Snyder and
she killed that band.
what's his name? The Rocky Mountain High guy.
The Rocky Mountain High guy.
Yeah, Denver.
John Denver.
Yeah, D. Snyder,
No, you can't
John Denver, and your favorite person of all time, Frank Zappa.
Oh, see, you can't
were-
get any more pure than John Denver. John Denver was like, at one time in American history, he was the number one spot in music. He was then to what,
Right.
like Lady Gaga.
And he was
so-
censored.
no.
And he was censored. They took Rocky Mountain High off the radio.
Because they were busy saying, oh, they're doing drugs and everything. But it really wasn't. It was about a natural thing.
Right.
And he was high in the mountains. High also means that you're on the high peaks, okay? You're out there in Colorado, and you're experiencing the only thing that, that's possible in that location. It's spiritual.
And that totally touches on something that, Donnie, you and I have talked about this before, even on past episodes. People are sensitive.
Very.
That's the main reason what I talk about on my show. Like, I do give a disclaimer before every show, and actually it's a what you call that soundbite,
Right.
because I don't want to say it every time, because I don't, if I hurt your feelings, oh well, get
Yeah,
over it.
and then the last bit of that soundbite, like if you're offended, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But really, you should just
Yeah, just get over it. Like, grow up, pretty much. But yeah,
Yeah, but there's that stigma of in the workplace, like I was saying, I like to be a professional podcast where people feel like they can put it on in the workplace, have it be somewhat work related, if not on the dot work related, especially when we go into a heavy topic about photography or videography.
Yeah.
And be able to listen to it. And if other coworkers walked by, they don't even shrug. They're just like, oh, that's cool. You're doing extra research, or, oh, that's interesting. They don't even have to worry about what's going on. Same thing when kids are around. They don't have to worry about words being oversaid. I'm not saying we might have reached a line, at least with some people's sensitivity, especially when we were a few weeks ago when we were talking about thumbnails of some people animating their old family pets, putting
With
halos
halos.
and wings on them,
But
because
you
that's a
see-
sensitive subject.
Toaden,
But
you're talking about cameras. I don't see where four-letter words are going to be used to describe a camera. There's just not that much feeling or passion in
Well,
a
if
camera.
you're talking about a
as there
pile
is-
camera.
as there is with a natural disaster or someone's ex-girlfriend or politics. A camera. Wow, I have the same passion for this GoPro over here that I have for the last presidential election. Not.
Well, there's a pile camera behind you, which I would only use four-letter words to describe.
Oh, when it lets you down.
There's a reason why they chose a name brand Pile.
Yeah.
I only have two pieces of pile of equipment that have not completely failed me. That is my headphone adapter, which still doesn't work the way 100%, but still works pretty good, and our megaphone or bullhorn that's up on the top shelf. Pile makes great bullhorns, megaphones, whatever you want to call them, and that definitely doesn't work 100% the way it's supposed to work. But that 60-80% in between there that it works, it's awesome.
Here's the pile.
That's
right
pretty
there.
much the only my only experience with Pile that works, and I have Pile microphones, Pile cameras, super cheap brand. There's a reason why they're called the Pile Up.
if I may, can I go
Yes.
back to the topic about what you said? I wanted to piggyback off what you said. You want to have, when, at work, you don't want them to be like, oh, it's not, where's the play button? I mean, where's the stop button?
If you're listening to us at work, please comment.
Yeah, but at the same time, I have heard a lot of my personally that at work, these guys be in the suits, and I go in their office and they got DMX on, and so they would listen anyway, no matter what. Especially if you got an office with a door on it, So I feel like. I guess it just depends on whatever they feel at the time.
And it also depends where you're at, too, because William used to have us playing at his work.
Yep. Yeah.
Which was a back room in a retail store.
Yep.
In the in workers only warehouse and stuff like that.
Yep. During work, like after close. Yep. Stuff like that.
I've heard people play me in cubicle sections. Or played the podcast in Cubicleville.
Also, I would like to. A lot of people would like to know what the heck you laughing out loud for. Like with my show, you're gonna laugh. I feel confident that you're gonna laugh a lot with listening to my show. So they'll be like, you got the headphones on, it's real low or whatever. You're like, what is Donnie over there laughing at? I want some of that. I want to listen to some of that. So, I think it just feels.
And that's an
it
interesting
depends.
way of marketing too. Like, yeah, this is what I'm listening to. You might want to wear your headphones.
Yeah.
And instead of two people listening to one stream, it's two people listening to two streams. You got yourself and one listener, more listeners clicking.
Yeah.
And which makes sense because now they know where to find you.
Yep.
There's where your numbers go up. There you go.
That's interesting how you brought that up. You have earphones on, you're laughing. Someone else is not hearing what you're laughing about. So in a way, that's a form of marketing. You know, somebody's like curiosity. Humans get curious and they go, "Wow, what's making this guy laugh?" So
Or they wonder what kind of medication you need to be on.
Yeah, but that's what you tell them. The medication is whatever talk.
Right on. But
Shameless promo.
But what have you been doing recently with Whatever Talk?
Like my I just got it back up and running about a month ago. I just got the crew back up and running, so we will be doing a show or recording this weekend. At the time you're recording this, probably be a long time from when you're listening to it. Point at the camera.
Yeah, we're a couple weeks ahead with our recording right now.
Okay.
So like when we have computer issues like we have right now, they'll most likely be resolved by the time I have to go to edit this. So they won't miss a week.
Yeah. But we've been working on. Well, I have did a Whatever Talk gaming podcast, and I've been putting up Whatever Talk. I call them. I like to keep my themes based around talk or whatever. So I put up what's called Whatever Talk Lost Convo. Like,
Because we're the United States of whatever.
yeah. So it's basically the Lost Convo is basically lost episode that never got released due to the complications of the computer. So I've been putting up lost episodes and until I can get back on track. So that's I got like maybe 3 or 4 lost conversations. Basically, I just took out a major portion of a particular show and just cut it out and just edit that down.
Okay.
So not whole episodes, not whole shows.
Mysterious lost tapes always make for good listening and viewing.
Okay, so professional talking, cursing, not cursing. I've heard many professionals curse. What I like to say is, I curse, but I don't curse casually. I may curse in casual conversation, but I don't casually curse. And that is because when I do, now I'm a Marine. I'm a Marine veteran, so there definitely was a time where totally casually cursed. Now I feel like I do not. And it's that professional talk because there's some, and I've talked to all of you outside podcasting. Most of you don't casually curse, at least not on a one-to-one normal conversational level. And it leads to points, it leads to professional. I do hear people curse when they're giving speeches, and it's not casual, it's to emphasize points. And there's still, when you say a curse word and everyone goes, "What?" You just got everyone's attention.
But you
don't want to curse so much to where you don't get that anymore.
But all of you, I got to bring something up. There was a study done recently that shows if you curse about something, that shows that you care more passionately about what you do.
I could see it from both parties.
I can see it.
I'm not sure on that one.
I think. Well, I could see his. Like, the first thing that comes to my mind is when you say the more passionate part is when you're in an argument.
Yes.
But when you're the whole speech thing, I could see that being like their way of what you call it, connecting to the audience or something like that. Even though I feel like that's the wrong way to go because I feel like you shouldn't have to go out of character just to connect to somebody, to the audience.
No, honestly, sometimes people
I agree with that.
And you need to break the ice with some of those 4-letter words.
There's a difference to saying this guy, well, he messed up. Versus this guy, he up, yeah. He bleeped up.
Yeah.
It conveys two different things, and if you don't, and to me, I feel like if you're not using that word, if you use that word all the time, it lost its emphasis.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Well,
great word. It's a noun. It's a verb. It's an adjective.
I think the only person who can make it not lose its emphasis is Samuel L. Jackson. He's the only person in
What's
the
in your
world,
wallet?
only person in the world who can say whatever bad word it is and it's there, crisp still. But I totally understand what you're talking about. I don't cuss in my everyday dialogue. I do cuss in my raps if I do rap, or if I'm entertaining, but that's about it. Like I don't cuss in my everyday dialogue. To me, I kind of don't see the reasoning behind it. Like,
So, but the thing is,
that's just, but it's just
Yeah,
me.
when you're a kid, when you're growing up, you're a kid or you're on your own as a teenager, you're like, I'm free. I can say whatever I want to say. I'm good.
Then you start going bleep, bleep, bleep for no reason.
And then you calm down. Hopefully you calm down, at least at some point.
But
Some people don't.
Yeah, but I never, like, you could ask my friends growing up, my cousins, like, I never cussed growing up as a kid.
Can I ask your mom?
You can ask my mom. Like,
Okay.
I did not cuss growing up. If I did, it was to be comical.
Okay.
And comedians then, that's what they do back in the day on stand up. Well, even to today, stand up comedians were they cuss all the time. So if I did, because it was to be entertaining versus me just saying, "What up, mofo?"
really,
that's not in my character to, just to talk like that. It's just it's never been like that, like, for real.
I do want to jump on the other side of this because, I consider us middle of the road. Whatever talk, I don't consider hard on whatever side that is, but it's somewhere over there. I want to jump on the other side where people tend to use 50-cent words, big long words, which people like me end up having to leave their Google out and Googling words, and I was that guy in college that would get yelled at because I'm constantly on my computer, and they asked me to put my computer. I was like, no, I'm Googling what you are saying because you're not talking English. I didn't know what this word means. I didn't know what that word means. And so I'm just Googling along so I don't keep interrupting you. And by the way, I'm confused about this because I think you used that word wrong.
does that mean it's Farfignugan? Or does that mean it's diplodocleosis and supercalifragilistic and
That
stuff?
some of those are words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whatever, I can't pronounce it.
the
That is a word.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That is a word.
wait, let's trademark
I forgot what that
that.
means.
It became
I forget
a
too.
word.
I used to know what it meant.
It became a word.
No, it was.
No, it was a
no,
word
it was a
before
real
that.
word.
It was a word for real.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could have. So I thought it
goes
became.
down good with this.
You have to
one, Forrester.
understand the writer of Mary Poppins was very stern, and she did not want to make any words up. Every word she used. And in fact, I guess she
That's
didn't
where that word
even
came
like
from?
singing. She did more like nursery rhymes. She wanted to be more like that. She didn't want full-blown songs in the adaptation. That's why they never made another movie out of any of her other books. Because Mary Poppins was a series of books.
That's where that word came from.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Feridocious. That was...
No dancing in
Oh,
my
yeah.
opera.
Wait, that wasn't Mary Poppins, was
I
it?
think that was also Mary Poppins.
That
Yes, it
Mary
was.
Poppins, yes.
I'd have
Yeah.
to rewatch it to make sure.
Wow.
Yes, that was Mary Poppins, yes.
Wow.
To all British listeners, it's time for tea.
Yeah.
And then what was, a lot of books in the day, they had these long words, and they did it as more people learned how to read. And, because they want, the whole class thing. And even now today, I hear people use big words when they're in an argument or when they're teaching something.
Yeah.
And it's usually almost... there's only a handful of bigger words I use, but you're not really conscious because I use a lot of words that are specific to video and stuff like that. You don't know other people don't know what you're saying. Like the other day, I used the word static to describe a camera. They didn't know I meant the camera standing still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what they called field talk or
Yeah.
Yeah. Field talk.
Yeah, field talk, shop talk.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But
camera's
some of these
static,
other
but let it
words,
clean.
like I'm used to people saying facetious. Apparently, not everyone's used to hearing the word facetious.
So that's like a
Means you're being
slippery crap, like fetus, like feces or something.
It means you're being sarcastic.
Sarcastic.
It means you're being sarcastic. And usually when people say, "Oh, I was being facetious," that means they're being sarcastic while keeping a straight face.
I knew what
They
that
had
meant, by the
to
way.
tell you they're being sarcastic.
I know what I meant, by the way.
I gotta ask you, while we're talking about these 50-cent words and all this, profanity.
Well,
and
we're talking
FCC,
about
I want to ask you, on your show, what's the, has anybody complained about your use of language on your show?
I make up a lot of words on
Like-
purpose.
Okay, like what words?
Commissitical.
Commissitical.
I give it a definition and everything.
Okay.
It's the act of using or not using common sense.
I like that one.
Yeah.
More.
What's another word I made? Just put ism or ist at the end of your word. It's a word now.
I had a cowism.
Yeah. That's what I did.
Podcast-ism, man.
Yeah, but
Toadism.
is ism kind of part of its own language, though? Because when I hear ism, I think of a group, because I've heard many companies do this, and many different, organizations or whatever, even TV shows. Ism kind of describes their own, like, inner jokes. Like Big Bang isms would describe things on that show, such as soft bunny, hot warm bunny, whatever. Little
Soft
ball.
kitty.
But it's
Soft
still-
kitty, that's it.
But it's still a made up word, though.
All about women.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, like Big Bang ism, like
All about
What?
William-ism.
all about William ism,
Crazy Markism.
the ismness of ism.
Just add more words. to
Okay,
your
another
vernacular.
word. Come on.
I can't do it on the spot. I gotta be like in conversation and just come out.
You've been hypnotismed.
Recently, I was on a Resident Evil podcast and he was talking about if you are a real Resident Evil fan, you will like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. And if you say anything like 4, 5, or 6, then you're not a real Resident Evil fan. I like, well, you are a Resident Ismist. Like Resident Evilist. That's what I said. Resident Evilist, meaning I guess you're a racist.
A Resident Evilist.
Yeah, you're racist of Resident
That
Evil.
reminds me
You like
of,
1, 2, or 3, you love bad camera angles. That's it.
that reminds me of, a Juggalo ICP fan of Psychopathic. But if you're just sort of into it, or you're just wearing the stuff to kind of be like, oh yeah, man, totally. You're like, man, you a Jeffalo.
I wish I
So
could.
really, let's go back to
Yeah, let's go back. So we're talking
Carnival
about,
no.
we're talking about two different sides. You have the side of people that do cuss, and they totally can be taken seriously. And then you got the side of people that use these large 50-cent words that I found they use them, a lot of in academia and in instructional videos. People, because they want to sound intelligent, and other people they
exactly
keep
what it
English
is.
for a living, so these are just part of their vocabulary.
It's the first one. They just want to sound intelligent.
They do.
Especially nowadays, they just want to sound intelligent.
I mean, I know people that do both. Some people will use these words just to sound intelligent, and I became the guy that will sit there with my Google on my phone because I'm not too proud to admit when I don't know something.
because I'm not that intelligent.
You were one of those kids in school that had that. The Bible. No, you were one of those kids. You were one of those kids in school that had the dictionary and were like, "Hang on a minute, let me look that word up."
Yes, because instructors will get irritated when you ask them what that means,
Yep.
and then you go home, look it up, like, by the way, you were wrong.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they told me to look it up. So even when you ask them, like, they didn't even tell me. They
Yeah.
said, look it up.
Yeah, now in college, I've had professors that were like, wow, I've been using that word wrong for a long time. Engineers. I have friends that are engineers and architectures. So this is why I feel like this is important, because I've had clients that are engineers and architectures, architectures as well. Architects. That's it.
Architecturism.
That's the word I was looking for. Architects.
Architecturism.
And I don't know what is with that world and some computer programmers, but they constantly use large words. And when you get a group of them together, constantly almost trying to outdo each other.
Sounds like a poop match.
I know more dictionary words than you know.
That's pretty much the way it is.
I interviewed an engineer once, and he was, it was for a commercial thing. When I was intern for a company, we were doing a spot on GM, I want to say, and this one person's job, which he worked in shakes and rattles, and that was the name of like what he did. And it's like, so what do you do? What, describe to us. Well, I put the vehicle through vertical and horizontal displacement, and I listen really hard to find sounds of, like, okay, let's run back. What do you mean vertical and horizontal displacement? Can you say that like we shake the car? Go ahead, say that again. Well, we put it on a simulator. Okay, can you just say we put on a machine that shakes it up, down, left, right, just to make it seem like it's going down a rough road?
Baby, we shake it up.
Well, yeah, but people are gonna see this, and you just want to sound intelligent. In reality, I don't know what vertical and horizontal displacement is.
They don't want anybody else to know either.
That happens in a lot of motels.
They didn't know either until they got the memo saying that you were coming to interview them, and then they read up on the words like, okay, horizontal, okay, I gotta do it.
Oh no, these are engineers. They know. They these are their jobs. This is how they describe their job.
They just don't want you to know what their job is. If you wanted to know their job, you would have taken it in school.
And some people call this the dumbing down of the public, because we want other people to know, because we want to describe things that, if you ever want to learn how to teach a class, teach that class or tell your lecture to either a little kid or an elderly person, and describe it in a way which they will understand. That is how you should teach, and that is how you should describe things to those that don't know what you're talking about. And does that dumb down our level of understanding?
I don't necessarily say so. I think because if they really want to know, they'll look up words. Because I look up words constantly too. Like earlier when you had said the word, I asked you what does that mean. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what you're talking about.
Because we learn the words by hearing other people talk them. Mm-hmm. So if you're around that environment all the time, you'll pick up words that you think that you have the wrong meaning for.
Yeah. Like on one of our episodes, I was talking about stupid video game dialogues. And I had talked about Batman Arkham Knight.
You had to have all your base art belong to us. Come into that one. Come on now.
Batman has said a line that for years, I know for a fact, but I can't say a fact because I don't have evidence. But when I was in school, in elementary, I was taught what couple meant, how many was couple, how many was few, how many was several, and therefore. And Batman has said this dead body was missing several toes. In my head, I'm like, it's only 5 toes on the toe on one foot. How can he be missing several toes?
He's an alien.
Yeah, so I looked up. Well, the people on my show, my crew on my show, called me out at the end of the show because I had called it out because I was like, man, this is so stupid. Like, Batman, one of the smartest people in DC, how did he mess up several toes missing on one foot when it's only 5 toes? I could have sworn several meant 7 or more, but I guess the dictionary changed it around. It said it's 2 or more.
Okay, I thought it was 3 or more.
But I'm like, well, then what the heck is a couple then? Because I thought a couple was 2.
But a couple is a pairing, though, I believe.
2, yeah.
Yeah, but they're paired. Several doesn't mean that they have to be paired.
See,
The
that
English
wasn't explained.
language
That
is
wasn't
overrated.
explained to me. They just when I was in elementary.
I could be wrong too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're gonna have somebody in the comments going, "I googled couple. I thought you googled all these words before you did the show, man."
No, we want to be corrected.
So we're talking about the intricacies of English language now, the isms.
So several is not. It's not a super big word, but it's a small enough word to where I've been using wrong all these years up until last year. According to the dictionary.
You go back and watch like TV from the 60s. I love my old 60s TV shows. But on rewatching, as a kid, if I didn't understand something, you just kind of get the gist of the way they're talking. Mm-hmm. But now as an adult, I'm like analyzing every word they're saying. And sometimes they're saying words that I don't know. And our language has changed a lot from the 60s.
Dude, man, you see the Mod Squad?
I don't movie
From the
or TV
60s.
show.
From the 60s
I
TV
haven't.
show. Oh, man, there's more fighting in that than Batman. Less talk, more fighting, man. Anyway, back
one of those words is delicatessa. No one says delicatessa anymore. They say deli. And I actually
What
tricked
is
people
that?
on that.
I don't
What's a
even
deli?
Deli.
Oh, like the restaurant?
Yeah, like a restaurant.
So the whole word is delicatesca?
Delicatessa, yeah.
yeah.
That's the whole.
Wow.
What?
Yes.
What?
Let's go to the delicatessen.
That's
Because I was
down.
watching Dick Van Dyke, one of my favorite old TV shows, and they always say, "Oh, we're going to the delicatessa." Oh, there's delicatessa on the. So I had to look it up. And I'm like, it's a deli.
So I'm going to the delicatessen to get me a Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
I go to the delicatessen.
What? I'm about to start using it now.
There you go. Go to the deli and go, I'm here at the delicatessen, and they're all go look at you. Go, what?
Yeah.
They don't even know.
When you're out, tell your sons like, "Hey, go up to the delicatessa and grab yourself some sandwich meat."
Use all them 50-cent words on you.
Well, my little man not that bright anyway.
$50
He
words.
will be. I bet you he's smart enough to know. Okay, where is there sandwich meat? So he would either go up to the deli counter, or he'll just go where there's sandwich meat in the prepackaged ones. I believe. I bet you he's smart enough to figure out one of those two places.
No. Not sandwich. Sandwich.
Sandwich.
And right now you're listening to Media Litter Sandwich, where we bite into all your little nuances of things that comprise of the media. And the reason this conversation I feel is really important towards the media, because how do you communicate to your viewers? How do you communicate to someone in a live speech that is not being recorded is different than when it is being recorded.
Yeah.
And viewed by the stockholders.
And if you really want to see why it's important, look up Mantis quotes. I'm of course talking about the current 2017 current Secretary of Defense. People look into his old quotes when he was a Marine.
Yeah.
And even now, some of his speech, great. I would vote for him for president in a second. Of course, I'm also a Marine veteran. But when you go back and look at his quotes, when it says, "Be nice and polite to everybody you meet and have a plan to kill them."
What?
It doesn't translate as well.
Well, that's kind of smart if you are in the Marines. I mean,
Yes, and it's taken out of context.
But shouldn't they be ended with "if need be"?
but that's implied. You're in the Marines.
But I thought that.
but only the Marines would know the "if need be" that's being
Right,
implemented
because there's
there.
a whole section that you're also taught.
Yeah.
Rules of engagement. Obviously,
okay.
yes.
But I feel going back what you're saying about the whole knowing how to speak with the in the speech or your audience or whoever your demographic is. I feel like, and I could be wrong, because there's always a science to something. That's what Scientology is for, I guess. But
Scientology is for?
I don't know.
No, that's Scientology is a religion. Science is a science.
There you go.
Zenu.
There you go. But anywho, I just feel like be yourself. Like, there's no need to go out of character. You can be yourself with tweaking out certain phrases that fits your audience. by still being yourself. That's just me. Like, I'm not going to go out of character just because you want me to, or just because you feel like I'm in this particular arena that I need to be like them in order to communicate with them. Like, first of all, you got me here because you know who I am. Therefore, I can be myself. I can use some phrases that you might know, but I'm not going to go out of the character and start cussing because I'm at a rap a hip hop place where they cuss a lot.
And
You know
you're
what I'm
also
saying?
not going to sit there and come up with huge, gigantic words
That
because you're
too.
trying to impress a class of students or whoever you're lecturing to.
That too. And like I said, that you can still study or look up some phrases that they might, hang on to or get their attention. That's what I'm looking for. Some phrases that may get their attention without going out of character. Like, I shouldn't have to go Samuel because I'm in an audience of Samuels. Because evidently y'all got me here to do this, so y'all know that I'm not a Samuel, but yet y'all want me here anyway. You get what I'm trying to say?
You mean I put you in front of me and you won't even say huge words or even the small ones? Come on now.
That's not me.
Man,
That's
who's
not
on
me.
first? You lost me there for a second.
That's not me.
You too can buy media layer sandwich at your local delicatessen. And yes, I'm being facetious there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's and if you notice on whatever talk that we are at, I think we in our mid 90s of episodes. You haven't heard me cuss at all.
I was gonna say you don't look
Yeah.
like you're in your mid 90s.
Yeah,
No.
90s episodes and
I'm
episode 90s.
And again, where
And,
can people check out your episodes, man?
Podomatic is the audio version, and YouTube, of course, video. Well, the podcast Whatever Talk is not video yet, but all our spin-off shows are video. Whatever Talk gaming, anime, talking to myself, top 5.
Do you have a hub?
out.
Do you have like a hub, even if Facebook page, website?
Oh, Facebook. Go to you look us up. Facebook, Whatever Talk, Facebook, and we have a lot of also
Now
posted
on
up there,
Facebook
too.
page, if you go to your about, do you see all the websites you can find the different things on?
Thank you for that, because now you will.
Okay, so
By
if
the
you want
time
to
this
find
one comes out, it'll all be there.
okay, so if you want to find them, go to Whatever Talk.
Whatever Talk podcast on Facebook, or Whatever Talk on Facebook, because I got
And
a
you'll
group
have all the
page.
listings in the about.
Yeah.
And that's a pet peeve of mine because so many people have websites and I'm looking for their website, so I find them on Facebook, click their about. Okay, looks like they have no work, no education. It's like if you're on Facebook and networking with people or have something that you're going to promote, such as a website, put it on your Facebook page.
I'm still new to, even though I've been on Facebook for over a year. I started Facebook just to promote, because I know I'm not.
To be honest, if I wasn't promoting, I wouldn't be on Facebook.
I don't really care for social media, but the world cares for it now, so
Yeah.
I use it to my advantage. So I'm just there to promote. And now that I am on there, I got the Facebook group, so I'm trying to interact with the Facebook group. I do some interactions in the Media Later group also.
Yeah, the Media Layer Sandwich group. Yeah, thank you for participating. We do, we allow self-promotion in the group. We want to build a community. If you haven't already, check out the group. You could ask questions. We got people that write comics. We got podcasters. We got videographers, photographers, everything that Mark Monster does, where you can find him at.
CrazyMark.com.
We got All About William, which is on.
allaboutwilliam.com.
And he makes everything all about William. No, he doesn't at all.
No, actually, surprisingly, I don't.
So conceited website.
I'm Scotty
There's a
Miley.
reason behind it.
I'm Scotty Miley, better known as Toaden. And you can find me at Toaden.com, YouTube.com/ToadenK. You can find Media Layer Sandwich at your Comic-Con conventions and Taylor in November. No, Adrian in November.
Taylor in
And
December.
December. And you can find those dates at MediaLayerSandwich.com. You could also find us at Pod Bros. We always send out love out there to Pod Bros.
Hey, what up, Pod Bros?
You know, please like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to check out our other podcasts and all our other shows. All of us do other things.
Oh, I'm also on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and SoundCloud.
I think we're only on one of those, but we're also on Podbean and Stitcher, and I need to figure out how to get on
Spreaker
iHeart.
also.
I think we're on Sprinker. I'm not sure if we're on Sprinker. Hey, am I on Sprinker? I'm not 100% sure if we're on there or not. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hit the notification button. Hit the follow if you like us. Share to find somebody that may like us. I don't know. May the algorithms be in your favor.
Click the like button even if it's for Jesus. Did I say that right?
I like Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its.